Hi, this is Louise Bibby from getupandgoguru.com. I've decided to shoot some videos, some short videos on some of the main tenets of my coaching that I do for people with CFS. And I'm going to work my way through in a number of videos and just talk about the main keys to how I live powerfully with chronic fatigue syndrome and electrosensitivity. And these are the things I often focus on in the coaching that I do. Now, I do one-on-one coaching, and I'm also at the moment developing some group coaching training that I will be doing via teleseminar and webinar. So really, this is just a sneak peek of some of the ways I get through and some of the ways that I manage CFS. So the first, and I think one of the most important tools or mantras I have with regard to managing CFS and the electrosensitivity, not everyone has that one, but is acceptance. Is accepting that today it is as it is. This minute, this moment, my life is as it is. And it's not like it was yesterday, and it's not like it's tomorrow is just a mystery. It is as it is. And sometimes when I'm going through my most difficult times and I'm stuck in bed and I'm really, really struggling with feeling the emotional impact of the physical side of CFS. When I'm feeling hopeless and defeated and despairing, that's often when I need to use that tool, and I need to use the other tools that I will follow on with in the next few videos. But I say to myself, stop. It is as it is. It may not be what you want it to be. It's not fun, and it's not fair. And I talk to myself like this, sometimes out loud, sometimes in my head. But it's really important to stop those thoughts racing off into the future, because I think that often anxiety and depression can be fueled by getting too far ahead in our thoughts, thinking too much about the future, and also can be fueled a lot by thinking too much about the past, of how it used to be and how we once were and what we once did have. Because thinking of the past makes us sad that we don't have what we did before. We grieve, we feel angry and resentful quite often of what we've lost. And then we also have that tendency to, especially when you're stuck in bed and you've got no distractions to stop you thinking this way, and you've also got no evidence to suggest that you're getting any better. It's so easy to imagine that because it's been that way for this long, that it's going to continue to be that way for months or years or forever. And thinking that way it just leads to despair. It's what I call the spiral down into depression. And I know I know when I'm doing that now. I know when I'm going down that track now. It's not something I could identify in the earlier stages of the CFS, but in 20 years I've learned a little bit, and that's one of the things I have learned, is that if I allow myself to keep going down the track of that sort of thinking, I am going to end up with depression on top of all the other physical symptoms that I have. And I have been in the deepest depths of depression before due to this illness, and I don't want to go back there again. So a couple of years ago, I was going through one of those phases, and my mind was going down all those tunnels that they tend to go down in, and I just said, stop, you know where that's going to go, you know where that's taking you, that type of thinking, stop, you know. And I mean, I was crying and you know, in a mess, but it was like I had my own little coach in my head saying stop. And first of all, the first thing I needed to do was accept it is as it is. And it's not what it's not. So, right at this moment, it is as it is for you. And that might be not something that you have chosen, not something you want, and it may be really unpleasant. But acknowledging that it's there. You have chronic fatigue syndrome, you have incredible fatigue, you have incredible pain, whatever it may be, you have it, it's there. And just saying, today, at this moment, that is the case. And worrying about it and getting anxious about it and thinking about the past isn't going to change the fact that it is at the moment as it is. But there are ways to once we stop and acknowledge that, there are ways to also alter our thoughts to serve us. And that's what I'm going to talk about in the next videos. The other thing I wanted to say about accepting that it is as it is that it's okay to acknowledge that yes, you are sad, and yes, you are angry, and you're frustrated, and all of those emotions. It's really important to acknowledge those emotions and to cry and to release the emotions in any way you can. But sometimes we let the emotions take us over and the crying can become uncontrollable. And that's where I was when I talk about like that time where I just said, stop. You know where this is taking you. I was crying uncontrollably, and it was like I had to stick a stick in the. I was riding along on a bike, like sticking a pole in the spokes of the wheel, and just cutting that short, cutting into my thoughts, and just going, nah, not this sort of thinking, not again. I'm not going there. And I know how to stop this. It's going to take some work. And it takes being present and staying in the now and acknowledging, yes, it is as it is right now. That doesn't mean that it's going to be like this tomorrow. And if it is, well, then we deal with it tomorrow. And often it needs to even be broken down further. So it's more like, okay, it is as it is now. I don't know what I'm going to be like in 15 minutes. Maybe it won't be the way it is at the moment in 15 minutes. Maybe it will be. But I don't know. So for the next 15 minutes, I'm just going to accept that it is as it is. And from there, I'll give you more tools in the next videos. But first of all, stop. Put that pole, whatever, in the bicycle wheel and stop those negative thoughts by just saying, it is as it is. Taking a deep breath and saying, what now? From there, you have a place to go. And I'll talk to you about the place to go in the next video. Thanks. This is Louise Bibby from Get Up and Go Guru. Me and all my dogs in the background, even though they're not mine. My next door neighbour's dogs, and probably the budgie will chirp in every now and then. But I'm videoing today because I've just had my hair done for a photo shoot and I thought, may as well make the most of it. Alright, that's this video done, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Keep smiling. Cheers.